Alrighty, we are live. Cool. Hello, hello. How are you?
Hi.
My name is Ken, by the way. It's not Kental, it's just Ken. So you can call me Ken.
Okay, so can't.
Yeah,
Okay, nice to meet you. I'm
nice to
just
meet you.
saying.
Nice to meet you.
Sorry, one sec.
No worries.
Sorry about that.
All good.
Like,
First of all, you don't mind if I screen record this and
oh
upload it to
yeah,
my...
go ahead and record it. That's totally
Cool.
fine.
Thank you, thank you. And also, just a heads up, the Zoom call might cut off and end early. So if it does, because I'm on the free version, so if it does, you can just join back if we're not finished, and yeah,
Okay.
we'll continue from there. Um, yeah, let's just get straight into it. Yeah. Cool. What's up, Stacy? What's up, Ham? Alrighty. First of all, I'm just gonna ask you some general questions about
Okay.
your content creation journey. First of
All
all,
right.
tell us a little bit about yourself, what you do, and who you are.
Okay, so my name is JazaéNicole. I'm 29 years old. I just turned 29 May 20th.
Happy birthday.
Um, thank you. And I do like fashion, beauty, and lifestyle content. And I'm based out of California, San Francisco.
Cool.
And I decided to pursue social media back in 2020 when the pandemic happened.
Cool. What made you...
And
Sorry, yeah.
yeah.
Continue.
And I also have my baby, which is his name is Milo. He's my
Ooh.
little dog.
Oh,
Uh,
okay, cool. Cool, cool,
yeah,
cool.
his name is Milo. So it's been definitely a journey, but I don't know, when I think about it, I never would have thought that I would even be in this position that I'm in right now. So I think
Yeah,
it's really fun and awesome that I have the opportunity to like pursue something that I'm like passionate about.
cool. What made you actually pursue content creation?
Well, actually, I was doing it years before. I mean, I would say it was popular. We had like the Instagram models, people were on YouTube. I used to like be a dancer and I would like post my videos on YouTube.
Oh,
I
okay.
also was posting like fashion stuff on YouTube. So I've been on YouTube since I was young.
Oh,
But
okay,
I
I
think,
see.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So
Yeah, yeah,
I've
yeah.
been kind of
Cool.
into it and I've always wanted to be a YouTuber.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
so
So this is
so
not
really
your...
it would
This isn't your first content creation venture. You've been in the game for so long.
Yeah, but I think this is more official because
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like you're getting paid
Yeah,
now,
of course.
and I'm an
Yeah.
adult. But I
Yeah.
think before that was just all for fun because it was what was the thing back then. Like
Yeah.
everyone wanted to be on YouTube and yeah.
Cool. I think that's the same case as me. I started off creating content just for fun, and yeah, I think that's a very similar journey for everyone. Cool.
Yeah.
So, in terms of your YouTube channel, right, what would you say your niche is? Because I noticed you create a wide variety of content from lifestyle, fashion, video diaries, even self-improvement how-tos. How do you balance all of that, all of these niches together?
Well, I say in the very beginning, I just did whatever my heart desired. Because I always felt that me as a person, multifaceted. So I like a lot of different things. I find interest in a lot. And so I thought, okay, well, if this week I want to post about fashion, I'll post about fashion. If I want to post about this, I'll post about that. But I feel that there is a downside to that though as well, having all different things. But I feel like balancing it was just honestly just me posting what I wanted to post. I didn't really think too much into balancing it. It was just whatever I wanted to post, or if I had an idea, then I would just go for it. And at the time my audience really enjoyed it, so I just
Cool.
did it.
Yeah, yeah, I can see that. So there wasn't any strategy you came up with. You just wanted to post whatever you wanted to post, basically.
Yeah, and that's why I feel like my journey is so different from a lot of others because it was not like I didn't think it through really. Like, yes, I was a part of like this content or influencing program
Yeah.
and they helped me out, but I felt like really my journey was just me winging it. Like I just did what I felt and I just felt like things were just happening for me and it was no strategy.
Yeah, yeah, of
I mean,
course.
I would try to like, give myself like, okay, I'm gonna post three times out the week. Because posting consistently, I really feel like the strategy is consistency.
Consistency,
And I
yeah.
know everyone doesn't want to hear it. And I know we all say, okay, consistency. But is it really true? Because I feel like if I did not stick to it, I probably wouldn't have gotten to like the place that I was at. I wouldn't
Yeah,
have grown if I didn't stay consistent. Yeah, I was consistent for a good minute, but I feel like eventually it paid off.
I see. I see. Cool. So, can you describe your experience working with brands? Because I heard you've partnered up and sponsored with a lot of brands. Can you describe your experience with the business side of things?
Well, for me, the business side of things for me was a little difficult in the very beginning because I had no clue about rates and media kits and all of that. Like, honestly, it was all new to me. I just knew I just wanted to create videos, create content. But I didn't know that, okay, now we can monetize, your videos and things like that. And so being in that program that I was just speaking about, this young lady helped me to figure out my rates and things like that. And so with working with brands, I found that it was easy and difficult at the same time because sometimes brands just didn't want to pay,
Yeah.
and sometimes brand wanted to pay a lot, and I I realized at the end of the day when working with brands, if a brand really wants to work with you, it doesn't matter your views or your following. Like, I've
Mm.
worked with brands that didn't care that, some of my videos had low views. They just really liked me
Mm.
and they just wanted to work with me. And
Yeah.
I felt like a lot of it was my personality that just
Personality.
kind of helped
Yeah, that's
that
good.
helped out getting these brand deals and
That's good
negotiating.
though. Yeah, that's good. You also mentioned your influencer program. Could you talk a little bit more about that?
Yeah, so back in 2020, I was on Instagram and I was following this girl and she was talking about this program and I was like, "Oh, that would be fun," because I wanted to start, getting into social media. And I think it was called N2N, and her name is Kalia Nicole. And she started this like program for, individuals that wanted to pursue like influencing, content creating and all that. And so I ended up getting into the program, and the program was helping us to grow our platforms, helping us with media kits rates. And she would do audits on our Instagram, audits on our YouTube. Mainly it was Instagram at the time because TikTok was going, but it wasn't like a thing how
Yeah, it
it is
wasn't a
now,
thing yet. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I see.
And so she would just pretty much audit like people's Instagrams. And my thing was I wanted to be on YouTube. I wasn't really like worried about Instagram that much, even though I ended up growing on Instagram like later on. But the program was just basically to help us grow and to know like what our niches are and what we should be posting, what we shouldn't be posting, how to negotiate, and all of that, and how to like show up.
Hmm.
And so that was pretty much what the program was about. And then we would have like meetings, but it was really nice because it was like that accountability, and we would get on there and we would have these meetings and people would like give their like, their testimonies or whatever about like, how they were able to get a deal, or like they didn't do good this week, or I did do good this week, or I, finally hit 10K. So it was really encouraging to see like, other individuals like, pushing for the same thing.
Hmm. I see. So you started off with Instagram, if I'm not mistaken.
So Instagram was, well, no, technically YouTube.
YouTube.
Technically YouTube, but I ended up starting a new like channel. But see, this new channel, like I think I ended up changing the name or something like that. I can't remember because I privated all my old videos.
Okay.
And I was like, okay, I'm gonna really start like posting again. And I think I was somewhat consistently posting in 2016, 2017. I
Okay.
was like posting somewhat consistently. And then I stopped for like I think a little, maybe like 2 years, maybe. I was kind of posting here and there, but 2020 was when I was like, I'm getting back to it.
What made
But I
you
was still on Instagram.
Okay. What made you
Yeah.
like stop and what made you go back to it?
Um, Well, the reason why I stopped probably because I was like, I was too involved with my relationship at the time.
That's fair enough. Yeah,
So,
life.
I mean, I was
Yeah.
just kind of like having fun, traveling. I was traveling a lot during that time. So no one really even knew that like what my life was like before social media. So I was doing everything like kind of ahead of the time
Mm.
versus like now everyone's like talking about traveling and like restaurants and this and that. Like that was what I was doing back in like 2018, 2019. Like that was the stuff that I was doing back then. And I don't know, I just was just being more present. And so I kind of just stopped posting as much. And so that's kind of like why I stopped like posting. It was just I was just being more present with, the things that I was doing in my life. But I think what led me back to it was I don't know. I think it was more so like missing it and the passion, like,
Yeah.
and because I would always watch YouTube. So anytime I would watch YouTube videos, I'm like, dang, I need to be posting.
Yeah.
Like, I need to show up.
You're getting fear
Like,
of
I have
missing out.
something to bring,
Yeah.
It's like I have something to bring to the
Yeah.
table. And so I was like, no, like, I need to really like get on
Cool.
it.
Cool. 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 So I heard you were working on a business brand. Are you allowed to talk about that a little bit and what your journey is balancing your business and content creation?
I can talk a little bit, not too much,
Yeah, cool.
but
Yes, please.
um, well, first of all, so I had started a business. Actually, it started from a reel that went, I wouldn't say viral because I think people say viral is like a
Yeah.
million,
Yeah, yeah.
but like the video
It
did
popped off.
numbers. I
It
would
popped
say
off.
that. The
Yeah.
video the,
Cool.
the video did numbers,
Yeah.
and I ended up having this t-shirt on.
Oh,
So I had this t-shirt on that I had made because I was just like, I want to make t-shirts, something like cute and
yeah.
aesthetic for the girlies. And so I had wore it. It was a sample. Mind you, the sample was not even that good.
Yeah.
They spelled aesthetics wrong. Like, but something about, I know, but something about this video, everyone was just asking about the shirts, the shirt, the
Oh,
shirt, like the shirt. And so I'm like, dang. So maybe I should like do something with this. So then I came up with my brand, Moody Girl Aesthetic. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to start creating like stuff. So I ended up creating hoodies. And the hoodies ended up like, I ended up selling out my hoodies. And everyone loved them. And so then after that, I had this like clash with my manufacturer where they ended up giving me new samples because I was going to bring new colors. And it just all went to the trash. Like
oh,
they ended up scamming me. The quality was really bad the second time around. Like all this happened, and so I had stopped the brand. And so here we are now, moving forward. I decided that I want to, bring the brand back, but not this specific brand.
okay.
And so the brand that I'm working on now, it's still being developed. It's gonna probably be a process because I have to get the materials. I'm getting like the samples made. Like it has to be right. And the way that you have to make this pattern, I should say, is a little bit difficult. So I think balancing that with social media, I feel like it's easy because it's like it's something that I would do in my time where like if I'm done with social media, I'm done with like recording and all that, like I go straight into the work. And sometimes I dedicate days to do, and work on my business. So I feel like balancing it is not a hard thing. Like
Hmm.
if you're creating videos that are like really like what you do in your everyday life, it's easy.
It
But
is
I
easy.
feel like it's more difficult when you're trying to create stuff that you don't typically do.
I see.
And then that's harder to balance because at one point I was doing that. Like I was starting to create like other type of videos and I realized that like like this is not really working for me because I don't typically do this all the time. And so and
Yeah.
sometimes I didn't do it at all. And so it was always
Okay.
difficult to like balance that.
So it's like the authenticity, it really helps with, staying consistent, especially.
Oh, absolutely. You have to be. And I think that was something that I've always felt like I preached on my channel was that. But then like somewhere around, I don't know, something happened. Um, I guess maybe it was like that uh what is it called? Imposter syndrome, I think. That's what it's called, I
Yeah,
think,
yeah, it
right?
is. Yeah.
Yeah. And I felt like, I started seeing stuff kind of happening with my views and like so I started trying to switch things up and try to bring like my audience back. And I realized that like I wasn't really being myself because I'm
Mm,
trying to like get my audience back, get more, eyes on my content. And so with that, I realized that I can't do that. You have to just stay real to yourself, be authentic. And I feel
mm.
like it's gonna happen when it's supposed to happen.
Yeah, I
I
see.
I believe that.
I think I agree with you, yeah. So, you've been in the creator space for a pretty long time now. How do you find the motivation or the drive to keep pushing and stay consistent until now?
Um, I believe for myself, it was just knowing how bad I wanted this.
Hmm.
Like when you end up reaching a certain like lifestyle and you start to see like what your life could be like, you know, doing this full time, getting paid, doing what you enjoy, it's almost like you don't want to stop. Because if you stop, then you can't have the lifestyle
Yeah,
anymore.
yeah.
And then you're not going to be happy because you're not doing what you actually enjoy. And so for me, it was just more so of like, that the quote that people say, like, oh, how bad do you want it or
Mm,
whatever. Like, I really feel like that's just what kept the motivation. But also, I believe too, the discipline. Like, I had a lot of discipline and I built that up back in 2020 when I had first started. I was like really in tune with myself and really like disciplined. And it didn't matter what was happening, what was going on. Like, I made sure to show up and post that content.
yeah. I think that's very important. Like as a like the way you approach your content creation journey, it should be based off of discipline and the fact that like how bad you want it, like you said. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
Same question, but for the business side of things. If you don't mind, how do you stick to your mission for building your brand?
I don't know. I just think it still goes back down to like when it comes to the brand, I'm like almost like representing the brand. Like the brand is me, really. It's just I I want to be able to make sure that when people are wearing my stuff that it's like I want it to be like relatable and I want
Hmm.
people to feel that wow, like this person made this brand specifically for this, aesthetic. And I feel like that's something that I want to make sure that I hold dear to because being an authentic person, you want to make sure that everything that you're doing for this brand and that you're building is going to be for the people. It's not just for me, but it's for the people. Like you're literally building something and sticking to that mission and sticking to what you I don't know, what you have planned, what you have studied, what you have, I don't know, just like invested into. You have to make sure that like you're sticking to like the guns basically,
Hmm.
and I feel like for me it was just what I'm doing right now is making sure that everything lines up because like sometimes you can look around and look at other brands and you can start feeling like, oh, maybe I should do this or maybe I should do that. And it's like, no, 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 no. Like, you have to stick to the vision, you have to stick to the mission and know that, like, this is where we're at and this is where we're going to get to. It's just, we have to stay true to ourselves. And if this is what the brand is, like, this is what the brand is. It has nothing to do with what everyone's doing, what's trending. Because I feel like I realized that with certain brands, like, I get the trends. Don't get me wrong. Like, trends are great,
Yeah.
but I feel like when you're building that longevity and like long term, you can't just be going off of trends. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, you can dibble dabble, but at the end of the day, like your brand needs to be your brand and it needs to stick to whatever, because you can make your own trends. Your brand can be your own trend. Like, you
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? And so I think for me, it's just, making sure that I am not getting influenced by other things around me, but really like everything should be coming from here and from my heart.
Do you think that's the same for content creation? Like staying true to yourself and not like really relying on trends and hopping on trends and all that stuff?
Absolutely, because I mean, I can speak for myself. I've hopped on a lot of trends and I got a lot of views and got a lot of money. But at the same time, like it comes and it goes, but those people don't stick around. And that's what I realized.
Hmm.
That yes, that was, a trend at the time. Everyone loved the video. Everyone was like, oh my gosh, liking it, maybe subscribe, maybe followed. But at the end of the day, if I'm not posting that same type of content, they're not coming back and showing
Mm.
up.
So it's like it's more of the long-term growth and how you can build your brain long-term than like short-term spurts of hopping on trends and going viral and stuff.
Yeah, I feel like it's draining when you're doing the trends because
Mm.
like you're constantly having to make sure you're on top of it. You're on top of all the trends. You're on top of like what's new, what's happening. And like you said, it's like you get that growth, but then it's not gonna really last. And that
Yeah.
you want something for the long term. And I get that everyone wants to grow like super fast. Like,
Mm.
I mean, we all do. We want to grow. We want our social media to grow fast. We want to get our, our audience and all of that and build a community. Like I really do get that. But I think sticking to who you are and just like growing slowly is okay, and not, just doing things your way versus like what's trending. And I'm not saying don't go, with the trends. Like you can maybe do trends here and there. Like I don't think there's nothing wrong with it, but I
Yeah.
think your brand, you should not be like relying on trends to grow. You should
Yeah.
stick to like what you want to post because people feel it being like authentic and I don't know, they feel that connection more when they know like you're posting because it's something that you genuinely like
Yeah.
and want to post about.
Your audience can sense that.
They can
Yeah.
definitely.
Cool. So, if you had the chance to talk to your younger self when she was about to take the leap and start her content creation journey, what advice would you give to her?
Um, Number one, don't give up.
Of course.
Stay disciplined.
Yep.
um, Stay authentic. Be unapologetically you. Um, have fun and don't take it too serious.
Cool.
And what else? Let's see. And dream big. And don't doubt yourself
Of course.
and your ideas.
Yeah. Out of all of those, what would you say is the hardest?
Mm, for me, it was the doubt. Like, I think it was like that self doubt because I'm like, man, like, am I gonna get to that point? Like, will it ever happen? Can I actually do this? Will I be able to keep showing up? And I think for me, that was the hardest part because I am somewhat of a perfectionist. And when things aren't like really looking the way that I would like them to look,
You get demotivated.
sometimes I'm like, yeah, like, oh my gosh, this is not good. Like, it needs to be better. Like, and then it gets to the point where I cripple myself and then I won't post, or, I'm like posting late or half posting and just like, I'm gonna just, whatever it is, what it is, like, I don't know, I just don't ever want to get to that place again where I like doubt myself. I really want to make sure that I 100% believe in I don't know, my ideas and what I feel that I want to post and be okay with that. And to remember that just because you have low views or just because you're not growing as fast does not mean you're not good. Like,
That's a good point.
yeah,
Very
because
good
a lot
point.
of people feel like that. And it can really it can really suck.
Yeah. Yeah.
When you're not getting, especially if like you have good content or you feel like you just haven't got the exposure. Because that was what was happening to me. I felt like, okay, I had good content, but I wasn't getting the exposure that I felt like I needed to get. And so once I started finally getting that exposure, I'm like, okay, I don't suck. Like it's
Hmm.
just the algorithm.
Hmm.
It's just this or it's just that. But just realize that at the end of the day, you are still a great person and you still have great content. Doesn't matter about the views. Like we're really working against like it's a whole algorithm. Before it was never really like how it is now. Things are changing, constantly changing, and people's views are constantly going up and down. And I just think that it can really mess with you in here. And you
Hmm.
can start feeling like you're not doing good or you're not good enough or your content's not good when in reality that's not even true.
Yeah, it's
So
not
I
true.
think try not to focus on the views, try to just focus on the passion and creating.
Hmm.
And I feel like those things will follow. And like I said before, brands sometimes don't even care if you even have like
Yeah.
all these like numbers, it's all about your craft and like you have to just know, like, if you can do it, you can do it. Like, if a brand says, oh, we want to work with you, okay. Or if you want to say, hey, I want to work with this brand, and they're like, oh, well, we normally will do X, Y, and Z. But if you know for a fact that you can provide something of value to the brand, I mean, you just negotiate, and I bet you any money the brand will
Yeah.
say yes.
No matter how many
It's just,
followers or views you have.
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Because I've seen it. I've even seen it with myself, with other friends, my other, like, content creator friends on social media. There's been times where you didn't have a lot of views, but brands just still wanted to work with you. So don't ever feel like you're not there yet. You can be there. You can literally have I had a friend that had 2,000 followers on Instagram and got like a $10,000 deal. So it's just
Good
like, you
point.
just
Yeah.
can't just be like, oh, no, it's not just about followers. And I think
Yeah.
that's like not a good thing to think about. Like, just remember that it doesn't matter where you're at. Just go for it, because you just never know.
Yeah. I think that'll help a lot of people in this call. Heading into the final few questions, if you had to restart your entire personal brand journey tomorrow, but you still kept all of your knowledge, your skills, and your learnings, what is the very first thing you would do?
If I had to start over, I would say I would more than likely do more like lifestyle content where I'm out and about and like having fun. Maybe think more things with my dog.
Yep, cool.
I feel like that's what I would do. And I would also like just post. Like, I wouldn't think too much into it. I would just literally just post. Like,
Volume.
yeah, I would just post. Like, it's not that deep. And I think we're taking it too serious. Like, you remember when YouTube was like back then? I know the times are different, but it's still the same thing. Like, we are still
Yeah.
humans watching other humans,
Yeah. Yeah.
And if you are an interesting person, someone might like you. If you
Yeah.
just want to sit at home all day and eat, people watch that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's
That's
just like,
true.
I think what I would do differently is just post. I would just
Post.
literally post, not
Post
think
more.
too much into it.
Yeah. Cool. Cool. Final question. Do you have anything to plug or promote? Feel free to tell everyone what you're up to, what your plans are for the future, and where they can find you.
Well, you guys can find me on social media at JazaéNicole. I'm like on all platforms. And I don't know what I'm going to be getting into hopefully soon is obviously working on my brand still, and in hopes that I can release that soon. Doing that, as well as just showing back up on social media and staying consistent and just posting more, relatable content. So, I mean, I don't know. We'll see what the future holds. Definitely want to start, working with more brands, and, building my community, a stronger community, I should say,
The journey doesn't stop.
before.
Yeah, cool. Thank you, Jose, for today. I really appreciate it. You are the first interview that I've ever hosted, so thank you so much.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Thank you.
This was a blast. You had some really amazing questions, and I
Thanks.
hope that I was helpful and answered,
You were very helpful.
some
Yeah,
of the things. Yeah.
very inspirational as well. Like the advice that you gave, I think it'll help a lot of people. Yeah, including me. Yeah. So, thank you. I hope you have a great day.
Thank you so much. Bye,
Bye bye.
everyone.
Thanks everyone for coming as well.